Hey, what's up, Bubba Army? Let me here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do whatever to get our YouTube out there. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. When you do that, you're going to get alerts from when we post great content. There's a lot of good shit up there that you got to check out. Bubba Army for life. America. Woo!
I think Shuli is standing by.
Hello,
Shuli.
Mr. Bubba. How are you, sir?
Now, Shuli, don't forget we're on regular radio, so we can't talk freely like we used to.
Understood. I will follow your lead. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I will follow your lead to stay clean and profanity free.
Well, you know that if we were together, like in Sirius, you'd always follow my lead. I was a higher up on the totem pole than you, buddy. Please.
Oh, please. I mean, I think the guy
I'm just messing with you.
At the bathroom was on a higher level.
I knew I was in trouble, Shuli, when I first signed on with Sirius, and I forget who was in charge of the Howard 100 News before we all signed on in 06. Was it who was
Liz Aiello?
Yeah, Liz, and she didn't know. Now, do I get a C, Shuli, or am I just hearing a voice? There you are, Shuli.
Hi, Bal.
Look at you, buddy. Look at that dog. Doing? Look at that dog in the background. Is he a German Shepherd?
That's my German Shepherd that came with the house in the South and the gun. They bundle everything together as one package, and
with the butter churn and the Confederate flag and the whole 9 yards.
Buddy, I didn't know what a secret you guys had down here of how beautiful things are.
Oh, listen, and you don't even understand. Come to Florida. It's the next level of coolness. I mean, you're like in the appetizer area. You come to Florida, man.
No, Florida sucks. Don't come to Florida.
I can't wait.
Stay in Alabama. No, we're just saying.
Alabama's cool, too.
But I knew, Shuli, when I signed on, so Liz didn't know that, like, I was a host of, like, a show. She just thought I was some, like, whack packer that got hired. So do you remember, like, for the first couple of weeks, they had me and you going out to, like, high-pitch Eric's cat-pissed-infested apartment doing deals. Remember that?
Yeah, they weren't really sure how or what to use you for because they didn't know anything about you, and so they assumed you were a correspondent or some sort of whack packer or just another,
So I remember Howard calling me up one. It was before I started. It was like I forget when it was, and he's like, "Bubba Howard." I'm like, "Hey," and you know like what it's like to get a call from the guy. I mean, you kind of you're like, "Oh, you're a little bit freaked out."
Oh yeah, because your heart starts beating real fast.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
and you start rethinking about everything. Okay, what did I do wrong? He's like, "Is it true that Liz had?" And by the way, I do a horrible Howard impersonation. I wish I had Sal here for it. But he goes, "Is it true that you did that they sent you out and you had to take a subway and everything with Shuli to do Eric high pitch Eric's cat pissed infested apartment?" I go, "Yeah, me and Shuli did that." And he goes, "I'm gonna have to have a word with Liz because I don't know that she knows that you do an afternoon drive on our channel."
So it was great, man. I mean, listen, I knew you were a radio guy for sure, but I had never heard your show. I wasn't from that area or that market. I didn't know any of you guys. And I got to be honest, everybody had much like the South, everybody had their preconceived notions before meeting you guys of what was going to happen.
Well, like Artie said, we were the Westies. We're like the rough around the edges that the guys call in to shake somebody up. Because people in Manhattan are a little more high strung than we are down here.
Yeah, you guys were like a Southern Peaky Blinders. You guys, you didn't take any crap. You came in, you kicked the doors open, you right away started doing your thing. And I mean, as a fan of originality in radio, you guys were a breath of fresh air, man.
I got to tell you though, man, we were all part of something really, really special. That 06 to 13 Howard. And Howard, listen, I see people give Howard a bunch of crap saying, he's changed and what have you. And society has changed and Howard's changed with them. And Howard is in a different place in life and has the right to change. I mean, it's his show. If he wants to read Bible stories tomorrow, he can. But the circa of like when we first signed on to like maybe 12, 13, man, we were all part of something probably that'll never be emulated in radio again, ever.
It won't even come close, Bubba. And it was part just this organic like fountain where whatever you thought of that morning, there was a possibility to do it that afternoon or that evening, and just these voices, original voices, and guys like you, Jay Thomas, Scott Farrell. I mean, those.
Oh, don't
those
forget
people-
about who was the guy at night that was insane. Look at here.
Oh, Riley.
Riley. Remember Riley?
Listen here, my friend.
Yeah.
Your act is terrible. You understand, Shuli? He was something else. I mean, it was just this amazing vessel of originality that nobody could touch. And then behind the scenes, it was Animal House. It was amazing.
Yeah. Have you heard from? And I know you get. I'm going to automatically apologize if I ask questions that other people that don't like. You're my friend, and we were part of the same team, and so I feel like I could ask a few of these questions, but I apologize if they're similar to what other people. And have you heard anything from Artie? Is he doing okay?
I mean, here's what I know. Realistically, I'm about 9 cell phone numbers behind.
Right.
On Artie. I can't get a hold of him through the phone. I've sent some messages to places that I have access to with him. I've not heard back, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. I think the fact that he's unplugged from all of this might be the best thing that can happen for him right now. And I believe in my heart that he's progressing now better than he ever has, which is why we haven't heard from him. That's
Is
my.
Now I know that he was dabbling in stand up after he had gotten from rehab and gotten clean. Does he still do any? Is he working at all?
I have not seen him promote or appear, or any of my buddies say they saw him here or there. I think he's completely been pulled off the grid. I personally think that his family is involved. His mom, his sister, and they're keeping him. They're keeping him clean, man, and that's why we're not hearing from him.
Shuli, the infamous Shuli, will be at Side Splitters, I think tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow night, yeah, they're giving me Thursday night to show them what's up. So we're close to selling this place out, and I know.
And Florida's wide open, so it's not like you have to wear a mask and you can't have a few cocktails. Like it's wide open, like you can go crazy down here.
I am ready. I'm ready for wide open, and that's the thing. When we moved out here, is everything was open out here.
Well, now hold on, Shuli. I must correct you. When you say out here, people from Florida might think you're in L.A. You're in Alabama.
Yeah, I'm in Rocket City, baby, Huntsville.
Right.
And how long have you been there, Shuli?
And I gotta say, it was like moving to another world, just because we came from this place where we were completely locked down in our apartments. We couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't do anything.
Like when you were in New York, is it lockdown where you can't even really go outside?
I mean, you can, but there was nothing going on outside. Our local bodega was really the only thing that was open, and that was it. And everything else was shut down. Everybody else is locked down, and your kids don't have anyone to play with. You have zero interaction, and when you're a family of 4 in a 2-bedroom apartment for 6 months, you lose your mind.
What's a 2-bedroom apartment in New York cost, Shuli? $5,000, $4,000?
Cheaper than the 5-bedroom, 2-acre house I have.
Yeah. I know a lot of people will be like, why did Shuli leave? Why did Shuli leave? Well, the bottom line is, one, I don't know that the show, and by the way, none of what I say is meant to be disrespectful for Howard, because I've stopped many a guest. I had a guy that wrote I forget, well, maybe Blitz remembers the guy's name. I had him on a couple weeks ago, and he's like, oh, yeah, I got dirt on this guy, and I got dirt on this guy. Let me tell you about the Howard Stern stuff.
Oh, it was Ian Halperin.
Ian Halperin. And I stopped him immediately. I go, you know what, Ian? I don't care what you got on Howard. If Howard hadn't given me the opportunity he gave me, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I am going to stop you right there by saying, stop with the Howard Stern stuff, because he's my friend. We keep in touch, and I'll be forever thankful for the opportunity he gave me. And Shuli, I know that that's pretty much exactly how you feel as well.
100%. It was really important for me that when I left, I left on good terms. I know a lot of people have tried that and have been unsuccessful for whatever reason. But just like you, Bubba, I have a family. I have 2 beautiful girls because of this guy giving me a 1-week audition in 05, 06 to be a consultant for his news team, not even on air.
Right.
So everything that happened after that, I ran with it because this guy believed in me enough to give me.
You're like a newsroom piss boy, and you turn into a big timer. I'm just telling you.
It's 100% true. I joined this group that had 19 people in it, and my job was to explain to them who's who and what's what, so they don't insult someone like Bubba when they send them to a dumb remote somewhere.
With you, by the way.
And then
did you step in and say, "Hey, I'm a consultant on this whole deal, and you're really jobbing Bubba out, buddy, and I'm the consultant"?
Oh, I remember the first news brief they played for me. The anchor was Whackpacker Artie Lang is in trouble. And I'm like, you guys don't know anything. And so by day 2, I had shot my wad and I explained everything. And now I'm like, well, I got to stay. Somehow I got to figure out a way to stay because this guy gave me an opportunity to come here.
Now, I did see a video of Howard had you. And I think he had Jimmy Kimmel, and then he had Robin on, and then they chimed you in. And it looked like Robin was like a little mad at you because you went to Alabama because you didn't say the words, for now or temporarily. And so had you said that, okay, when the show returns back to the studios, I'm there. If you had said that, would you maybe still be with the show?
No, because it wasn't their call for me to leave. It was my call. They were not necessarily looking to get rid of me per se. They wanted to move some stuff around finance wise, which where I live now wouldn't be a problem. The salary cut that I was being offered to be able to do my stuff outside.
Right.
This is all coming from management.
Right.
And
and trust me, I know how management. Ask me about Scott Greenstein. Not so much.
So then at the last minute, of course, everything kind of changed. The rules changed. And I said, you know what? I would rather.
Hold the phone. Shut up, Shuli. Is that your Howard 101 gold jacket behind you?
Framed? Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm the only one that recognizes that. This was his Howard 101.
The news crew all got them.
Yes. him and Steve Langford and Lisa G.
That's awesome.
And all of that. Yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely. Shuli, am I the only person to recognize what that was?
A couple people have seen it, but I got to be honest with you, man. If this podcast thing doesn't work out, you spot that on eBay. I'll sign it to you.
Yeah, you'll be wearing it in Alabama, trying to be somebody special. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be doing remotes at a car dealership. Remember me?
Hey, it's formerly from Howard. In fact, I still got my jacket. Come out and see my jacket, ladies and gentlemen. It's the only remnants I got of Howard Stern, but man, they're nice. It looks like almost an NFL Hall of Fame deal here.
I know, or a Century 21 Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm trying to make you a little bigger than you really are, kid.
Well, listen, man. I mean, originally, the story behind these jackets.
I'm trying to make you a kick returner for the Bears, not a guy that's slinging, slum houses.
Not the dog that runs up and picks up the tee off the field.
No, not that guy. Hey, man, Brent Hatley says hi.
I love Brent, man.
Brent's killing it down here. He really is killing it.
Of course, he was a guy that, we shared an office towards the end there, and he was a guy that was looking to get out, was looking to do his own thing, very much like myself. And I give him all the credit in the world for doing it.
Might have called him a liar
takes
a
lot
time
of
or two.
guts.
Yeah, you guys got nose to nose a few times, but actually Brent's taken me aside a few times and go, listen, Shuli is one of the very few people that knew how to work. He knew that if we would, cause some kind of stir, that it would get us right to the studio and be able to get our propaganda in.
He said that, and then guess what? Every time we'd go in there, I would tweak him for real, and he would get upset with me for real.
I know, shoot style. He'd really be mad at you.
He would, because then we'd be sitting there in the office after
well, you guys would roll in there under the guise, hey, we're going to work this deal here, right? But then Brent would believe it and get all hyped up, want to kick your ass in the office.
Oh, my God. I would look over at him in the studio, and the look of death he was shooting me like, hey, man, you crossed the line. And I'm like, there is no line. We're working. Let's go.
We're working, buddy. Come on.
Come on, man. They didn't hold back on promos back in the day. They went after it.
Yeah, they did. Shuli will be at Side Splitters Comedy Club. That's tomorrow night, April 1st. And then Friday and Saturday, he's in Cocoa Beach at the Surfside. And then I think in a couple Sundays all the way out to Phoenix. So it looks like, Shuli, you're getting some pretty good gigs. It does.
I mean, I got to be honest, man. The response to going solo and breaking off has just been so amazing. I believed in myself. I believed it would work. I didn't know how quickly it would take off and how much support I would get, because you live in a vacuum in that world. And it's not Howard's fault, but you live in a vacuum in that world where people are constantly crapping on you and telling you that you're nothing and that nobody cares and that nobody knows you. And you kind of start believing that after a while.
All right, so now you're talking about Ronnie's opinion. How about everybody else? Now you're talking about Ronnie, but how about everybody else? Fred was always cool. You know what? Fred is one of my most favorite guys there. Fred's a guy. He's a man's man, is he not?
He is. You can talk to him. He's endlessly fascinating. And it's so ironic that a guy who barely says anything during a 4 or 5 hour show has so much to say after the show. And I mean, I've been caught talking to Fred for 30, 40 minutes after the show. He's amazing and sweetheart of a guy.
And you know what? At the end of the day, I think if the Stern Show had a battle royal, I think Fred would win. I think Fred might be the toughest guy. Deep down, Fred might be the toughest guy there.
Toughest, yes. I think the key with the battle royal there is bursts, right? Nobody's long time fighter.
So you're talking about like 15-second bursts?
Yes. So now with 15-second bursts, you have to factor in a guy like John Hine.
Yeah, but he's lost a little bit of his breath nowadays.
I agree.
Right.
You got Benji, who's got crazy
strength.
Oh,
Benji would be the first to take out. He's a hypochondriac. You just make one little scratch on him, and he's crying like a little baby.
Bubba.
Plus Benji's going to be late to the original fight to begin with. Like, he's going to get DQ'd for not even being there on time. Son of a bitch.
He's doing like the champs used to do. They used to just wait a long time before they came out to the ring.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like in a Stern Show battle royal, I'll tell you right now, Shuli, and I'm going to catch a ton of crap over this. Who's actually pretty tough because I locked up with him when I was in my best shape, and that's Ralph. Ralph is pretty wiry. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, he's been wrestling guys for years. So.
and I didn't even set that way. That wasn't even a setup that we talked about. But that is
Ralph has berry strength.
I mean, he's used to handling man strength. You know,
No, but I did lock up with him one time in Studio B, and he's pretty wiry. But again, he's got a good grasp on locking up with men's.
He does. Another guy you can't sleep on who could really shock the world and beat up everybody is my man who's doing wrap up with Gary and John, Rasan.
I don't know Rasan. How about Richard or Sal?
I mean, if they could win a fight by French kissing you, then yeah, both of those are number one seeds.
Docking championships.
How about Gary? Is he a paper tiger?
Gary will hire a trainer. He'll get ready for the fight, and then on the way to the ring, he'll blow out two hammies like Vince McMahon.
Right.
And that'll be the end of it.
I think one of Gary's most famous deals is how can a man throw a pitch that badly?
It's still, and a lot of people sleep on this, Bubba. That wasn't the worst pitch. The worst one was when he went on Kimmel afterwards, and Kimmel, tricked him into throwing on the show, and he hit some woman in the audience in the head.
Yeah,
that one was even worse.
Kimmel's killing it, is he not? Man, talk about a guy that's killing it.
Yeah, he was not happy about my move either.
Really? Did he talk to you privately? Like, hey, Shuli, you're in Alabama, buddy. No,
all three of those millionaires were giving me a hard time for moving.
I heard Robin say, well, why didn't you move? I heard Jimmy say, well, why didn't you move like 40 miles away? Well, because 40 miles away, it's still $10,000 a month for a 3-bedroom, right?
Yeah, and like I was done. You know how much money we wasted renting a place, like the kind of house I could have had, and we have a beautiful home here. I have I have peace of mind. You cannot put a price tag on that. And they were just like, well, why don't you do this? Well, why don't you do that? Well, if I had all those options, I would have done them, but I don't. I'm on a limited budget here. I'm grinding, I'm hustling. And my first priority is my family. And I knew when they shut us down, when they said, go home, you're not coming back to the office till we figure this out. I came home that day and I looked at my wife and I said, this is the last time I'm riding the New York City subway. Like, that was it.
I live with my sister. Times are so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
But you kept your studio open every single day.
My studio's still open, but I live with my sister, so I don't know what the lesser of two evils are. But, I'm just saying, my studios are wide open. We're wide open down here. No masks, getting crazy. But, Shuli, I just got a 1-week suspension on YouTube because I had my co-host, which is also a doctor, gave his opinion on the COVID-19 deal and vaccinations and stuff like that, and it goes against what you're supposed to be saying. You're supposed to be scared of the boogeyman, and so now they censored me and locked up my channel for a week because I just offered a differing opinion.
It's really scary times right now where freedom of speech is under fire. You have this passport that's going out.
That's scary.
That's scary.
Scary shit. Sorry.
Gotcha, dumped you. No big deal.
Sorry. That's scary stuff. I mean, it's you can make all the jokes you want, but it's no different than slapping a yellow sticker on a Jew back in the 40s.
Exactly. Putting blood on your door back in biblical times.
Yeah. Yeah. There is no, and I get it. Everybody wants to be safe, but you really break down the survival rate of this COVID right now and where it's at. It's, I know a guy who's 100 times of a mess more than me, more out of shape, smokes like a chimney. He just got over it. So I'm like, if this guy can get over it.
Oh, Shuli, they're going to be knocking your door down here in a minute. You're going to lose your podcast if you keep spewing that kind of stuff, buddy.
The truth. Don't talk the truth.
Don't talk common sense or the truth, Shuli. Even if you live in Alabama, they can censor you in Alabama too, buddy. Woo.
To quote the Nature Boy, "Fire me! I'm already fired."
I spent some time in Huntsville, Alabama. Me and Blitz under some adversarial conditions, and they have
at gunpoint.
They got a quarter midget track down there that we used to go to. How far do you live from the quarter midget track? Do you know?
I don't know. I know how far I live from the comedy club, Stand Up Live, which is phenomenal, and I've been working there quite a bit. And I know how far I live from the Walmart to get material. For the comedy club. Yeah. And
that's all you really need to do is just go walk through Walmart a couple times and you got 30, 40 minutes of material all day.
Oh, what I tell people all the time I hear, which is true, is that, one of the main reasons I love the South so much is that they still beat their children. And I love that about them because it's raising a good crop of kids.
It is. I mean, like in the South, you can still kind of yoke up your kid a little bit and whack him on the ass. It's not really a big deal. But you do that in Manhattan and you're going to prison.
And that's what I tell them. I said, look, I got 2 girls. I'm never going to hit them. I'm a chicken like that. But I like that they know we live in a place where
they can get smacked.
Stuff can go down and people will help me before they help you.
Yeah, like they kid talk to each other and be like, hey, we live in Alabama now. Dad can whip our ass.
That's right.
You couldn't whip her.
I'll take them to Walmart and camp out with some lawn chairs and just make them watch until Eugene gets smacked from aisle 4 to aisle 6. And then we'll go home. Everybody understands each other. We're all in the same.
Like a battle royal, like WW. It's like like going to Walmart's like almost going to a battle royal. Battle royal of humanity is what it is.
Are your kids back in school?
That countdown clock. 3, 2, 1.
Did your kids go back to public school?
Yeah, they're in school out here. They're loving school. They hated school in New York. They love it. They can't wait to get to school. Their grades have never been better. They're thriving.
Well, they're probably because of the smartest kids. I mean, they went from the New York educational system to the Alabama. They're probably 3 grades ahead.
Kids didn't realize that they needed this social interaction like they do now. I've got a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old. They've never been so happy to be in school. So I'm so happy for you and your family to have some freedom and have the choice to put your kids in school or not. They're better off, aren't they? Better mentally?
100%. Listen, we were homeschooling before the pandemic. That's how bad the school was out where we were. And so, when everybody started homeschooling, they were like, this is really hard. We're like, yeah, welcome to the party. Okay. We've been here for months, losing our minds trying to do this homeschooling because you're trying to teach a kid at home. There's no way to keep them focused.
It sucks. It's homeschooling sucks.
Even for good kids that are smart, to try to keep them engaged in a screen with Zoom. I've had to do a few meetings with my kids. I don't know about you. And I'm so distracted. I'm like a 10-year-old making jokes about the people on the screen. And I said, how do you do it?
Well, my son's 18, and to keep him off the porn sites and onto the school deal is a little bit tough. I mean, if I'm not checking on him nonstop, he's over on, hamster.com or something.
He's 18, buddy.
18. He's going to graduate in 2 months, and 18. He's a man.
Unbelievable.
Man, 18-year-olds nowadays aren't nearly as tough as we were. I'm just saying.
I mean, Listen, you want to impress me as an 18-year-old? Fold a map back up the right way. Then you got my attention.
Or you know what? Clean your room, brush your teeth, and take out the garbage, and without having to be asked. That's a man right there.
And drive with your knee and flip through a road atlas and find your way around town. That's a man.
By the way, Shuli, I saw your website, and I don't know who's doing it, but it's simple, but it's really efficient and good. I went to salamshuli.com.
Thank you.
And isn't that what it is?
Whoever's
Shalom.
doing your media
It's
or
Shalom,
social media,
Shuli.
you're the only guy I've ever looked up where the first page wasn't Wikipedia. The whole first page is just like how to get your tickets and who you are, and it's all your website.
How'd you figure all that out?
It's like that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Look at the first page. There's no Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Shuli. I never thought
It's
you were
insane,
smart.
Man,
I thought
dude,
you're
crushing it.
I just thought you were some newsboy, piss boy, but you really got it together, buddy.
Well, here's the deal. You have to surround yourself with people who are as hungry as you are. Okay, you don't need the best. You need hunger. You need people who have that energy that when they get a week audition in New York, they make 15 years out of it because they don't want to go back to Vegas.
I hope
right?
your dog just didn't poop right now. Looks like he may have just laid a steamer right now. Just saying. I made you look. made you look.
By the way, last night I was so stoned during my podcast that I'm playing an interview that I did the night before, and I see my dog's in the crate to my right, but I see her in the background on the video, and I lose my mind. I'm like, how did she get out? Is this magic? Meanwhile, I probably should lay off the weed. But
now, is weed legal in Alabama?
It is in my address.
Well, I know, but here in Florida, you can get cards and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I know. I already have some calls into some people when I land. I'd like to check out the accoutrements, if you will.
Now, listen, privately, you need to let me know where you're staying.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to maybe come see you, bud, for real.
Anytime, and I'm also.
Should I bring Hatley?
Yeah, bring him.
Be a good fight.
Bring him. We'll swing. What the hell?
Oh, you're talking about you swinging with? Then I got to bring Caitlin if we're talking about swinging.
Upside down pineapple swinging.
I quote Brett about me a couple years ago. I'm a pariah in the swinging community. They are not fans of mine.
Oh, they're not?
Really?
Well, because I would always goof on Brent, but that's according to Brent. Believe me.
By the way, Shuli has a cameo at /Shuli, and then of course his main website. Shalom. Is that how you say it? I guess
yes.
I'm not a Jew.
Shalom is hello and goodbye in Hebrew.
Now you know that I have a Jewish person on my show.
Well, yeah.
Well, let's get them, guys.
Hold on. Anna, you were born in Israel,
Yeah.
and you're Jewish, and so why do you denounce your Jew?
Well,
Because she's an atheist?
yeah, I'm an atheist, but I mean, Jewish culturally, like I like Seinfeld and bagels and things, but as
can't
far
be
as going to
Isn't it
synagogue,
ethnically? Isn't it ethnically too? It's not just
Yeah.
cultural.
Didn't you have a bar mitzvah?
I had a bat mitzvah because
Bat
I'm a
mitzvah.
girl.
That's what I meant.
Or
Could have been
non-binary.
a bar mitzvah.
And
Listen,
you
can't be born in Israel and say you're not a Jew. You're OJ, original Jew.
yeah. Anna, can we go that you're an OG? You're an
It's OJ?
Yeah, you're OJ. You're an original Jew. That might get us more traction in the Jewish community.
Sure.
You may
okay.
be Jewish, buddy, but I got an OJ, kid, and you don't got one. You're not even an OJ, are you, Shuli?
Oh, hell yeah. I was born in Israel. What, are you kidding me?
For real?
I speak Hebrew fluently, buddy.
Yeah, he's not a real
absolutely.
American either.
My whole family. Let me tell you a quick story, right? In Vegas years ago when I was starting out, I was playing to nines of people a night, trying to learn how to do stand-up. And this guy comes out, the audience comes out, and the first guy walking out sticks his hand out to shake my hand. And as I'm shaking his hand, he says, I'm a Jew from New York, and I didn't appreciate the self-deprecating, self-hating Jewish material tonight. And I said to him, well, sir, as a comic, we write what we know. That's why you didn't hear a lot of Kwanzaa jokes. And he says, yeah, but being a Jew from New York, and I stopped him. I go, excuse me, I'm a Jew from Israel. Okay, I was born there. My father, my mother, they fought for the state of Israel. And in my opinion, there's only one self-hating Jew here tonight, and that is you, my friend, because if you were a real Jew, you'd have got your money back. You would have.
By the way, it's a Jewish man telling a Jewish joke, and I'm not signing. I'm just saying. Damn,
And that's the
Shuli.
last time my uncle comes to a show.
Yeah, bada bing.
Then my uncle.
By the way, Shuli, tomorrow at Side Splitters, there's not a lot of tickets available. Go get them while you can. Shuli, what times are you doing 2 shows or just 1?
I'm just doing one.
What time?
I want to sell the place out, drop the mic, walk out, hit Cocoa Beach, sell those 2 out, and then be in
Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix, and then I'm coming back to Florida in May, and I'd love to come in person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd be pissed if you didn't.
For sure.
Yeah, no,
You'll love his
I
studio,
miss you, man.
What time, Shuli, is? What time is the show tomorrow night at Side Splitters?
I think it's at 8:00.
8:30.
She's barking because she heard the word Jew. She's a real German Shepherd.
Does that mean attack? Does that mean attack?
Too funny.
If she's from Alabama, it means attack, right?
It's weird. The only commands she understands are German. Achtung! That's the only thing she knows is stop.
Shuli, Lummy, would you go to or
100%.
Anna, would you go to the show with me tomorrow night?
Absolutely.
After this interview?
I'm a huge
Hell yeah.
Shuli fan from certain days.
Shuli, don't act like you don't know me, bitch, when I show up at the show tomorrow, buddy. I'm just telling you.
How about you want to bring me up?
I would love to. I would be honored to bring you up.
Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to let them know. We're not going to ask. I'm going to let them know that I have a friend that's going to be introducing me.
Yeah,
Thursday.
Britt Hatley. Hey, I'm bringing Hatley, too. We're going to co-announce. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Hatley hit me up the other day. He's like, I love Hatley, but this is typical Brett. You'll get a kick out of this. My first time playing Side Splitters.
Right.
It's a great club. A lot of my friends played there. I've been looking to play there for a while. And, when you get into a new place, you're not looking to make any waves, right? And Brett hits me up the other day, and he's like, hey, man, we want to broadcast from your show. We want to do our Twitch show from your show. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? What do you need? And he's like, we need Wi-Fi. We need a place to set up our thing, and we need...
The Britt Hatley rider.
Table, engineer, everything.
It's your appearance, but Hatley's already trying to make it his with his rider and his demands to do his Twitch show live.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, can I just walk in the door first? Is that all right?
Can I meet the general manager and maybe spend a few minutes with him before I demand that I have a T1 Wi-Fi hookup, Willie?
And he's, I'm just waiting for him to be like, and we get drink tickets, right?
Right.
But
and Caitlin wants to go out with a couple of the black guys here too. So Caitlin gets the 2 hottest black bouncers. Okay, that's what we're going with.
But I love him, man, and I can't wait to do something with him again. Oh, and also here's a little scoop for you. We're bringing back a show that I know you like listening to back in the Sirius days, Miserable Men.
Yeah, with Bob Levy.
And we're bringing that show back. We've reunited the crew, and we're bringing Brent on as a producer of the show. So
phenomenal. That's going to be like a podcast on your deal?
Yes, it's going to be a podcast. I got about 3 different podcasts. This is the coolest thing about this right now in my life is that I think about something one night, and then the next day
you can do it.
Doing it, yeah.
You don't have to ask Marcy if it's okay or not.
No, you don't, and that's a damn good feeling, Bubba.
Mm-hmm.
Shuli, I gotta go, but listen, buddy, can I get your number? Put you or get a hold of you, or have Caveman or somebody get a hold of you so I can get your number because I'm gonna come see you tomorrow night, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. I'll take care of you. Let me know how many people you're bringing. I'll take care of it.
Hey,
right?
Shuli, I am so excited to see you. I am just so excited to give you a big hug and maybe a French kiss because I don't have COVID. And I'm so proud of you as well because I know that your cameo is kicking ass. I know that your podcast is doing well. I know you're on the road doing stand-up. This is what you really want to do. And, the 15 years you did with Howard only gave you a bigger brand. And I'm as appreciative of what he did for me as he has done for you. And I can't wait to see my fellow friend tomorrow, buddy.
I love you, brother. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm sorry it was through Zoom, but
it's all right. I'll see you live tomorrow. And then when you come back in May, we'll have you in the studio, kiddo.
Done deal, my friend. I'd love to have you on my podcast sometime and tell some war stories.
Love it. Hey, see you tomorrow, buddy, okay?
Thanks, Shuli.
Love you guys.
Love
Thank
you too.
so much.
Bye, Shuli. Shalom.
Bye-bye.
Shalomi, homies.
OJ.
God, I love that
The
guy.
OJ. He's hilarious.
I love that guy.